Hello, you amazing hackers. Hope you're doing well. I have Ribersec here with me today. Great having you. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you doing today?
Great, thank you. Could you please introduce yourself for the viewers real quick?
All right, my name is Ribersec. I'm 34 years old. I'm from the Netherlands. And we have met 2 months ago on Reddit, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I started spamming all of my videos. I used to post, I
Yeah,
still post daily, and I used to post all of my videos daily to Reddit as well. Um,
yeah.
can
I
you
joined the Discord server and the Slack server where we met and talked about hacking and bug bounty. And so that's how we met.
what was the thing that attracted you to the hacker life? I know that a lot of people that are watching want to become like bug bounty hunters like us. I know that you do a bit of bug bounty as well. We'll get into that later. But what attracted you to become a hacker in general?
Well, it started almost 14 years ago when I started my first job in IT. I did the first 10 years. I did. I was a system administrator slash network engineer. So I did both the jobs of them. And after 10 years, I saw HackerOne, and I thought maybe I can do that as a hobby besides the job. But let me see. When did I create my account? I created my account in 2017 on HackerOne, and I for more than 2 years I did nothing with it because lack of time. It's I have a family and I've got work. So, but I guess 2 years ago I switched my title. I'm now an IT security officer, so I have more related stuff to do. And when I started, I didn't know that much about bug bounty. I didn't know it was legal at that time. So my first bug bounty was literally by mistake on not a program on HackerOne, but in a Dutch website. I sent an email to myself with um, some notes. So I just emailed an XSS payload to myself, and after I opened the email, it popped up, and I was like, "What's this? What happened?" So that got my interest.
That's really cool. I really like that story. It's like something unrelated that you did that got you into hacking. A lot of
Yeah,
the people that I
definitely.
know started it this way as well. Like for me, it
Yeah,
started one day I was doing some normal, I was ordering some e-liquid for my electronic cigarette. And I discovered a bug where if you entered the wrong credentials on a specific login page, so not the normal login page that you entered when you were going through the home page, but if you went to the cart and if you logged in there using the wrong credentials, you would get logged in as anybody random in the database. So
oh,
that was one of the first things I found. I got a whole lot of free e-juice for that, of course. That's what got me into
pretty nice.
hacking a little bit, but it didn't really start until much later for me. I also got some general IT experience like you, and that's something I see a lot of hackers these days having is they have at least some solid grasp of some of the fundamentals of IT, like networking or programming
Yeah.
or software testing. Do you think it plays a big role in whether or not you want to become a pen tester or not?
Uh, you mean if it was a part to becoming a bug bounty hunter?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, I said pen tester, but I meant bug bounty hunter.
Yeah, no, definitely. Of course, it's really helpful to have some basic knowledge about IT and the network because it's really help you finding stuff and understanding stuff. For example, if you got you are running a brute force and you are getting a 401 or a 402, you know what it means. You don't have to look for it from what it means. By example,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
really helpful to have those basic skills.
Yeah, that's a really good answer. I really like that because I noticed that a lot of the people, when they start bug bounty hunting, they don't have those basic skills. And one of the biggest problem that arises, like you say, a great example is when an error occurs, when something goes wrong. And for me, at least, hacking is a big part of seeing what goes wrong and why it goes wrong. And you have to have the basic skills to explore that aspect of the field. And a lot of people are missing that a little bit for me.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
say
and if you lack those basic skills and you are, for example, on HackerOne, you can get negative points
that's very
for
true.
reporting bugs that are not completely real bugs.
Yeah, and even people who are like I got my OSCP, and when I got my OSCP, I was like, now I can start doing bug bounty hunting, but that was totally not the case. I reported all of these bugs that were best practices that I shouldn't have reported at all, and I got like negative reputation really fast, of course.
Yeah,
And I still have negative reputation to this day, but I think that's more because I don't want to hunt on HackerOne anymore. I don't have time for it. I really like doing integrity, and it's not because I have something against HackerOne. I just want to make that clear. I don't mind HackerOne at all. It's just that I love integrity. It's my home, and it's where I became like the person I am today. I started my bug bounty hunting career there. I found my first valid bug on integrity, and I kind of just stuck around. I was talking a little bit about my first valid bug a couple of episodes ago. Could you tell us a little bit about your first valid bug?
it was basically on HackerOne. I did it was 14 months ago when I started my bug bounty journey. I first did let me see quick. Oh, the Hacker 101 CTF stylish, where they learn you how to do these things, and then you earn points. And with those points, you can get invites.
Ah, that's cool.
So after I got enough points, I did get some invites, and I accepted one, but I can't talk about it because it's still private. But I reported within 1 hour. I reported three XSS, and still they are not resolved until this day. So they are open for 14 months, 15 months, I see. So that's just basically my first three valid bug bounties.
That's so. I hate it when that happens because it's sort of.
Yeah,
For me, it's like either don't start a bug bounty program at all or do it properly. And I get that maybe I don't know about the severity, but I've also had that happen where like a medium severity has been open for quite a while, and I would rather have them just either close it as non-applicable or as informative or something like that than to be waiting
yeah, I
for
understand.
months without that security,
Yeah,
and I don't know if
yeah,
in your case it was a paid program as well, but in my case I was waiting for a couple of months because it was like my first paid vulnerability that I actually reported. And right now, looking back at it, there could have been some things I could have done differently because I just reported my cross-site scripting attack and I didn't report any extra impact. So I wasn't looking to steal any flags. I wasn't looking to execute JavaScript or anything like that. That's some advice I would give somebody who gets into bug bounties as a beginner, for me it would be try to raise the severity of your bugs, try to raise the impact as much as possible. Do you have any advice for people who want to get into bug bounty hunting?
You should really do it. If you like it, then you really need to do it. But you also have to learn the basics. Just what we discussed a few minutes ago. Really need to learn the basics, especially the networking stuff like the HTTP requests, etc. Understanding what server responses you get when you resend a request in burp and are trying to change some parameters and you get different responses. It's really important to understand what they are doing. Like for example, just before our call of our interview, I was hunting on the program and there's this API endpoint, and when I browse to that API endpoint, it changes from port 443 to port 8443, and then it gets me blocked. So you really have to understand what's happening, and I'm still figuring out what it is because I just discovered it.
Yeah, that's really cool. That kind of stuff is. That's why I love doing bug bounty hunting. It's like a new
Yeah,
puzzle every time.
yeah. But
And
another advice is uh, to follow guys on Twitter like you who are giving resources. Also, it's very good to learn from each other in this community because you can do it all by yourself. You really need to learn, and you definitely should learn how to use Google. That's, I think, by far the best advice. Learn how to Google stuff.
yeah, exactly. I think that's also one of the priorities that I'm basing my channel on. I try to give just enough information, but not too much, so that you guys have to look a little bit for yourself, of course.
Now,
Um,
definitely, yeah.
that's very important to me, and it's one thing I learned from OSCP. It's that try harder mentality, and it's go look at it yourself. Especially, I don't know the current OSCP. If you look at the syllabus, you have all of these, and I think it's a bit more like beefy and a bit more substance to the course. But when I took it, a whole lot of the topics were go research this, go research that, go research that. And that's kind of the mentality I'm trying to bring out with these videos that I make as well. I really like doing just like web applications, but there's so much out there. You can do mobile testing, you can do web applications, API testing. What kind of person are you? Are you like somebody who likes mobile testing? Do you like web application, or is it like a mix of all of those?
I've never done mobile web test or mobile app testing in my entire life, but I do mostly. I I just started Bug Bounty again the last few months, the last one and last 2 months, I guess. But I'm trying to set up my own basics, and that's I want to automate a lot of stuff. Like I see it, you can go horizontal and you can go vertical. And if you go horizontal, I guess, for my opinion, is that you go want to discover all the assets, do brute forcing, etc. Find maybe host header injections or some other basic stuff or low hangings. But the vertical part is going really deep in the application. That's one thing that I am not doing right now. I'm just started a new project by myself to fully automate the whole discovery of subdomains, the enumeration of it, what software is it running, maybe WordPress or Drupal, or is it hosting on Cloudflare and some stuff like that. I'm doing this fully automated, and I'm have just running it since Friday, I guess. My first test, and I have already have reported one bug on integrity, one on no, two on HackerOne today, and one on oh my god, I forgot the other name.
Bug crowd, is that
What
possible?
was it? Bugcrowd, yeah, Bugcrowd.
Yeah.
And they already closed it
Oh,
because it
that's
was information disclosure on the program. But
okay.
it was a valid submission, they said, but they leave it. So I'm guessing that what I'm doing is working a little bit.
Yeah, and it's really cool that all of the stuff that you're doing, that you, first of all, we talked about knowing the basics. You have to know how to do this stuff
Yeah,
manually first before you can automate it. And that's why I'm trying to, first of all, trying to go really deep myself manually into an application, and I'm starting to learn how to do that. There are so many cool ways to do that stuff, but you can also automate that, and we all know stuff like authorize from Burp. But if you know your application really well, some really basic tools can get you super, super far. And I think that's also the same case for when you talk about your more of your wide scope. Um, if you know the basic stuff, you can get really, really far just using bash scripting, I think, and a little bit of Python maybe here and there, just to sprinkle in a dash of variety.
yeah.
um,
I'm only using Bash.
oh, that's really cool, man. Bash is one of my weaknesses for now. It's one thing that
Really?
yeah, I want to have a guest for the, teaching you guys Bash as well, because people have asked me, can
Well,
you give, sorry?
I can teach you. I can teach you Bash. I only have some Bash Ninja Google skills.
That's really cool, man. For me, it goes super, super basic. And like, I've been able to write a few scripts, but not nothing too much. You know, just chain a few commands, import a file, that kind of stuff. But I think it would be really interesting to have like a Bash for Hacker series or something like that. All
Yeah,
right,
I
man.
understand.
So thank
Well,
you.
maybe
Sorry.
no. I just wanted to discuss some tools I use. Maybe.
That's really cool, man. Go ahead.
Well, I've always looking for some tools that could be interesting, and I found out that these guys from let me quickly look it up from Project Discovery. They are on GitHub, and they got some really nice tools. They've got a subfinder for finding subdomains. They've got Nabu, if I speak it out of yeah, Nabu. That's a port scanner, but it's all written in Go. It's really fast and multi-threaded. Because normally I do an nmap scan, and I want to scan all ports, and it takes ages. But now I first run Nabu, find really quick the open ports, and then I can pipe it to nmap, and then I give the open ports to it, so nmap doesn't have to find its own open ports. So it saves a lot of time. And also they have a very cool tool that is called HTTPX,
Mhm.
and I just figured it out that you can find a vhost with it.
That's
So it's
really
pretty
cool.
cool and pretty useful. And also I really like FAF
Yeah.
for brute forcing or maybe guessing. It's more like guessing
Yeah.
instead of brute forcing because you guess what's behind the website. So that are some of my tools that I use to automate the most of the stuff. But I really believe if you want to find more bugs, you really have to go deep into the application. But I
Yeah.
first want to do my wide scope, automated so I can go deep when my other scripts are running.
Yeah, and it's also, I think, a matter of combination because one thing I've been thinking about is you can go deep if you first go wide and then pick like 100 targets. If you know which one of those to pick, you can go deep into each and every single one of them. So that's a major advantage if you know both ways, if you can go very wide and you can go very deep. You can go very deep into each and every single one of those subdomains that comes up, and that sounds interesting to you. And that's why I really
Yeah,
like knowing a little bit of both ways. By the way, I noticed you were talking about Project Discovery. Have you seen their tool Nuclei?
yeah, I'm using that.
That's a really cool tool as well, man. I really like that one.
Yeah. Do you use it as well?
I'm starting to read about it now. A couple of viewers have brought it to my attention, and it's so cool. It's super extensible.
It it is. I'm running it definitely. Yeah.
All
It's
right.
it's it's give it gives a lot of good output. It's not that's all it's useful, but some things are useful. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I think
And
it's
also you can make your own templates within Nuclei. That is one big advantage. I mean.
yeah, exactly. That's why it's all of these tools for me. It highly depends on who runs them. I can give the best tool to the worst hacker in the world, and he's not going to find anything. So it
No,
really
absolutely
depends on
not.
who runs it. Um, all right. I would like to thank you very, very much for your time. Do you have any closing words for our viewers?
Well, I hope you found this interview interesting, and if there's anything you would like to ask to me or to Mr. Red, then feel free.
All right, thank you very much for that. I'm also going to be dropping Ribersec's Twitter handle in the description, so if you guys have any questions for him, feel free to hit him up as well. I would like to thank everybody for watching. If you liked this interview, you know what to do, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.